Right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak Extra. Talking about cost of living, we are going to analyze or continue on analyzing the quality and quantity of packaged goods in Nigeria. So Nigeria, with a large population of over 200 million people, has a vast and growing consumer market. Packaged goods are widely consumed in the country with various products available in the market. However, there is concerns that these goods, the quality and quantity of these goods have been reduced drastically, and it's affecting consumer safety and welfare. So today we're going to continue with this discussion, which we opened the phone line for to dissect the opportunity, the discussion, and we heard from you Nigerians about that, and because of that, we decided to bring someone from one of the agencies to dissect and show us what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, and what also their own responsibility has been so far. We're going to talk about the quality and quantity of packaged goods in Nigeria, highlighting the challenges and opportunities for improvement. To help us on that, we have Ishaku Mohammed Gamagira. He is the Assistant Director, State Coordinator, Standard Organization of Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, let's start from the top, right? What are the primary standards and regulations in place to ensure the quality and quantity of packaged goods in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians. Actually, I am now taking from the angle of Standards Organization of Nigeria. And as we are all aware from the name, Standards Organization of Nigeria, our vision is improving lives through standardization and quality assurance. There are a lot that has been done. A lot of policies are in place to ensure that Nigerians consume quality product and also enjoy value for their money. Most of these products, particularly that are locally made, in line with our act, are expected to go through a scheme called MANCAP. MANCAP is one of the policies of the organization. It's an acronym for Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program. And as a result of that, the management of SON decided to open offices almost in every state of the nation. And it is expected that anybody who is producing any product locally must approach those offices and let the office know that this is what is producing. Then a team of officers who are related to there, because there are different sections. We have chemical technology section, we have food section, we have civil building, depending on the product you are trying to produce. And each of those products have a standard. And the standard, when we're talking of standard, we're talking of, that's what I'm saying, standardization, and we're talking of quality assurance. The elaboration of the standard is a kind of consensus agreement. When we say consensus agreement, when you talk of standard, we try as much as possible to bring together stakeholders that are involved in that kind of production of that product. And beyond even the producers, in elaborating the standard, so many people are involved. People from the academia, NGOs, and other relevant agencies that have, the Consumer Protection Council, the NAFDAC, and if it is food, and all those related organizations that have one way or the other getting involved in the production of that product. So they come together and agree to the parameters that are required to produce that product. And at the end of the day, a standard will be elaborated and it will be approved by some council. We're under the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment. So our council normally approves such standard. So as soon as that standard is approved, it has become a document that will guide us in ensuring that certification we're doing, that MANCAP, because the MANCAP is the quality assurance aspect. Standardization is what I've just finished telling you, that once it is elaborated, there are requirements. And when you talk about quality is total. It's not only about the content, even the packaging material is all about it. So we are doing a lot in that area, and I think the management of SON, particularly under the present leadership of Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwunoso KK, has put in so many, has rejigged some of the policies to make it very accessible to Nigerians and easy to access, particularly with the ease of doing business now. So many things are now, all these things I'm telling you is something, as soon as you go to a portal, whatever service you want, you can be able to get it. And I believe that those efforts are in place, that are ongoing. You know, I've told you that.
So to follow up with this, you're talking about a certain standard. What are we? How do we compare the standards to international benchmark? You know, because we always look up to international standard, right?
Yeah, when we say standardization, you know, whatever you do, you know, as a standard body, we are affiliated, or we are like a duplication of International Organization for Standardization. So the elaboration of this standard are in line with the ISO requirements. So whatever we do in elaborating our standard locally is in line with the requirement of the International Organization for Standardization. Therefore, our standards, as soon as we have elaborated a standard of a certain product, that product can compete anywhere, locally or internationally.
Okay, so how do you monitor and enforce compliance with standards in Nigeria?
Yeah, as I've said, by the grace of God, I'm the coordinator FCT, and apart from those people who now declare or come to inform us that they want to produce product, and we guide them through during the markup process, we also have compliance sections, because as I've said, we are mandated by the law. SON Act 2015 mandate us to certify these products, and we try to do as much as possible keep awareness through our public relations department to let Nigerians about all these expectations. But we know that some are not, some deliberately refuse, some are not aware. So at times we go out on what is called market surveillance. We go to supermarkets, we go to open markets and all that, and sample products. Most of those products that are not carrying the markup logo on them, we take note of it and invite those people and guide them on how to go about doing the markup certification. All this is in an effort to ensure that Nigerians are getting or are consuming products that are wholesome, products that have passed through the minimum Nigerian industrial standard.
Okay, still in the quality control, when you know consumers matters at this point. So how do you, what are the processes of investigating complaints when sent to you by consumers?
You know, in every state offices, we have a desk which is called Consumer Feedback and Collaboration. It's a unit where we address consumer complaints. So when there are complaints, we try to invite the two parties that are involved. If for example, a product, maybe somebody bought a product and it's not performing, what we normally do is we encourage you to ensure well, there's one point that I at least want to make Nigerians to know. Whenever you are buying a product, make sure that it is receipted so that you can link it up from the source. So when you have a problem with a product that you buy and it's not performing, not giving you the performance that it requires, you can approach us. Like here in Abuja, as I've said, our office is in Guru district, and if you go to our website, you go look for our office address, you get our address and write to us. We will invite the two parties, and if we discover that that product is even failing as a result of non-compliance to our requirement of the standard, we follow up, not just discussing with you. We try to see how we can solve your own problem between you and the supplier, but we do a follow-up to ensure that who is producing this product, what is happening, what went wrong, so that we can be able to address it, so that corrective actions can be taken, so that at least such kind of thing cannot occur in the future.
Indeed. All right, so what are the most common quality and quantity issues found in packaged goods in Nigeria?
Yeah, you know, as I've said, in standardization, when it comes to conformity assessment, but that particularly as regards markup, the issue of packaging and the content of whatever that package is carrying is all together. Because when you are trying to do the markup process, we even ensure that when we go for such inspections, we start from your raw material store until we get to the finished product store.
As it should.
Because sometimes even your raw materials, determine the quality of the product at the end of the day. So we start from the raw materials product, from the in process, and then to the finished product store. And at the end of the day, the packaging itself, where you're coding as regards expiry date, as regards even the content of what that product is all about, to what is required to make that product is checked. That's why it is expected that most of those companies should have a listed lab, because we take sample to our lab for test, but we will also do a kind of on-the-spot test to ensure that that product is complying. So in the issue of, particularly of what we're discussing now, is the issue of quantity and quality. Quality, as I've said, there are parameters for every product that is produced. There is parameters that are expected to be put together to make that product. And for it to be wholesome, it has a minimum requirement of quantity. Is it sugar? Is it whatever the raw material that is involved? There are certain quantities of it. That's why it must be indicated on the package. And we must make sure that what is stated on that pack is what is in the content. So the issue of weight, part of what our acts mandate us to do is to ensure that whatever weight you declare, if you say it is 350 grams, it must be 350 grams. And how is that being done? You must have a kind of weight scale within your premises that is always calibrated. Your scale must be calibrated, because sometimes if your calibration equipment is faulty, your weighing equipment has faulty calibration, it can even be against you. Because what I mean by against you, because by the time you're overweight, your product is even overweight, you're at loss, because you put it at 350 kg and you're selling it at 500 naira, because you think within that 500, that 350 kg, that's why you can make a profit. You can now, your equipment can be faulty and giving underweight. At the end of the day, you're saying 350 grams or 350 kg below what a customer is expected. That means a customer is being shortchanged. So it's both ways. So part of our mandate, because when you talk of calibration is a very important tool for business. It's even beyond the packaged material, because even the weight of a product that comes into your premises, your weight bridges that, because whatever it is particularly that is being measured, it's expected that you get the exact measurement, because some of them are buying raw materials per kg. So if you now weight bridge cannot measure to the required grams or the required weight, you are also losing. So we, part of our mandate is calibrating such equipment.
All right. So from what you're explaining is the major thing is you try for not everybody, it should be a balanced situation.
A balanced situation.
But then you would agree with me that the sizes, the quality or quantity rather of this product, some has drastically reduced from way back, and we want to understand that you people are aware of this. And we want to know what you are doing about this situation, because we see prices keep increasing, even though it's tagged with the cost of living currently, and prices of products and all of that. But then Nigerians, you heard Nigerians talking on our phone call interaction, and their major concern is a lot of quantity are being reduced, and nothing seems to be done about it.
As I've said, me as son, we don't determine price of product. Price of product, even maybe there are other agencies of government that are responsible for that. But what we ensure is that whatever you are buying the exact quantity in line with the requirement of our mandate to certify you. Because whatever you said you are declaring, we must confirm and follow it up to ensure that that's what you declare before it gets to the market. Okay. So you find out that maybe sizes are reducing. Those sizes, even if they are going to be reduced, but for us, we should be able to know that, okay, this time around, some they were coming in tins. Now, later they started doing them in packets, and the packages are coming even in smaller sizes. All that one has to do with the cost of production. But if you also want to reduce that size, the weight of that size must be indicated. and it must be that size, that weight that you are selling, not below that size. And that's why you see, even on the packaging material, our logo, even though it is smaller now, but it must carry that small.
We feel like the packages tend to be deceptive though. While you're retaining the same package and the product sizes are reducing inside.
No, that's, you know, what I'm saying here is that maybe there could be some sharp practices. But in line where it is expected that before you send out any product that you indicate that this is the weight, you are expected to sell it as it is.
Yeah,
but if we find out, if we discover that, you know, in the course of our market surveillance, because when we are testing that product, beyond actually the content, we test the weight. If we discover that there's prevalence of you selling underweight based on what you have declared, and we're discovering that it's below, if it is 3 maybe 2.2, 2.1 or whatever, then you're not selling. We discover in the market there are penalties to that effect. And we take appropriate penalties.
Okay, so I would like to ask this question: how do you engage with manufacturers and industry stakeholders to meet up with the compliance and keep up with the standards?
Yeah, as I've said, yeah, you invited me to be here, and I'm right here. So that's what has been happening. In fact, most of the time, either at the level of management or at our own level as coordinators, we try to engage particularly sectoral associations. If you are into maybe manufacture of a certain product, and you know, most of the time these days there are associations that are related. Even supermarket association have an association. So sometimes we engage them. We try to educate them on what are the expectations. In fact, we supermarket operators, we try to tell them not to accept products on their shelves that are not markup certified. Because sometimes if you are done that, we hold you responsible. There is a product called product liability standard. Even if you say that you're not the manufacturer, but we find it on your shelf, we hold you responsible for it. That's why we try to create awareness that, okay, those of you who are now the people who are interacting with the customers, because most times if you produce, you have to look up an outlet. Make sure that all those products you are selling have conformed to the requirement of the minimum Nigerian industrial standards.
So how do you prosecute people that are, find lacking in this aspect?
That's why we have a full director who is in charge of legal. By the time we discover such issues at the level of the state, and it becomes a matter for prosecution, we refer it now to the legal department, and our legal team will now, put the matter to court and follow it up until the person found involved is prosecuted. In South Region, you can see that not long ago, I think there are some people who are counterfeiting engine oil. In fact, the culprit was prosecuted. I think they were even jailed. But that is, as I've told you, is handled at the level of.
Is there a particular sentence for people that are prosecuted? Is there maybe years that they?
Yeah, I know there are the act has spelled that out. So I wouldn't want to say exactly, but I know that there are some of them that are jailable offenses to the extent that you'll be jailed. But the term, I know I cannot be able to expand, but I know it cannot be minimum of a year or so.
Yes. I mean, it's good you spoke about the engine oil, because our previous caller made mention of petrol, even and other products, adding to before and now and noticing some differences. But then talking about other things that you said, if there is one thing you made it clear, is that Sun has its own responsibility.
Exactly.
And there are others that are not really yours. So what is your collaboration like with other maybe sister agency that have to take care of other responsibility in order to make sure that the right thing is done when it comes to quality and quantity of products?
As I've said, you cannot do. Most of these things are not done alone. You must also, as much as also, try to collaborate with sister agencies, and at the level of Sun management, we try to engage, other agencies. Sometimes, if we are doing a program that has to do with, like for example, when I was doing a program, sometimes here in Abuja, I try to invite NABDAC, I try to invite Bank of Industry, I try to invite even security agencies and all that. So it's a collaborative thing. When we're doing compliance actions, I've told you, police or civil defense will be there for us. And when we're elaborating our standard, for example, food standard, any food that is related to food, NAFDAC is also a part of the technical committee meetings that we're doing. So we try to collaborate in that area so that we are all conversant of what we are doing. And if something has come to my knowledge that maybe a consumer has reported an issue that I realize that within my mandate is not what I can handle, I reach out to the other agencies and say, okay, I have this matter, maybe you can. And they do the same thing too. Because I know some of these consumer complaints I was telling you, in fact, they'll even tell us that they go to other agencies like the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Agencies, but they realize that it's something that some can also handle. They come to us. So it's a kind of one-stop thing. It's a synergy. There's a synergy.
Talking about the consumer protection, I want to ask, what measures do you put in place to protect consumers from substandard and, adulterated products?
That's a good question, actually, because what you expect is that at least consumers should get the best. As I've said in my preamble, that people must get value for their money. Most Nigerians are innocent, they don't know. So mostly we try to ensure, from the manufacturers that product that gets to the market, that is the right product, and people don't get shortchanged. So that's why we have these certifications in place, that at least you must ensure that your product has the MANCAF certification, so that at least because what customer gets is also embedded in what we are thinking of, to ensure that customer get the best. So, and apart from that, we do some engagement with the media and all that. Director of public relations sometimes do some media engagement so that keep people aware of what you should expect from manufacturers and all that. So as much as possible, and Sun is doing that its own best to ensure that customer consume products that are wholesome and also get value for their money.
So, the international packaged products that are being imported, how do you get to, also check to make sure that they are also keeping up with some of the compliances that Nigeria has?
Yeah, since when I came, I've been talking of the locally manufactured products. But some also have a policy or has a scheme called SONCAP. It is Standard Organization of Nigeria Conformity Assessment Program. That's for offshore. Okay. If you are importing a product into Nigeria, it is expected. In fact, it is a clearing requirement. I'm just telling you, by the time it lands in our soil. But the first thing you do once you are importing a product, it is expected that already Sun have commissioned some international accredited firms that are managing that processes for us abroad. And from time to time, some officials of Sun used to go there and monitor what they are doing. What you are first to do is, whenever you have a product that you want to import, you now liaise with the company that is producing, pick a sample of that product and take it to that, IAS, one of the IAS, that are doing that work for us. That product will be tested and found to have conformed to the requirement of the standard. That's why I told you that when it comes to standardization, our standardization is whenever a product has passed that our test, it can be tested anywhere in the world. In fact, some of our products that are even MANCAF certified are found to be the best globally. So once that product is found to have conformed to the requirement of the standard, they will give you what's called a product certificate, where you can come back, process your whatever you want to process with the central bank, get your from M and whatever as an evidence that, okay, this is the product we are importing to Nigeria. Once the money is being paid into that company, they will produce it en masse. At the point of loading in the container for Nigeria, they will give you what is called SONCAP certificate. That SONCAP certificate, our people are there at the port. That's what they will look out for. And now see, has this product that you brought in gone through our offshore certification? With that certificate, we can be able to see, yes, okay, this product, okay, this is the name, I will check in the computer and the container and see physically that this product, this certificate has matched with this product before we allow it. You can clear it and take it into the Nigerian market.
Okay, so a lot of our callers, called this morning and they talked about expired goods, that dates have been changed. How do you go around checking the product, and how long is the product supposed to last before it expires?
Yeah, every product has a shelf life. That one is the science of the, the science of the product. As I've said, we do what's called market surveillance, and these are the things we look out for.
How often?
Yeah, like in my office, for now I put a structure whereby at least my team will always go out at least twice in a week. This is a new development, particularly with the coming of the new management, new DG, has made it clear that he holds everybody responsible, within the area of jurisdiction. If such complaints are prevalent and you're doing nothing about it. So I have a team already. I have a committee within my office, which is called Market Surveillance Committee, and these are what we're looking out for. Of recent, not here, there was a report of a product, I think it's an agrochemical or agro-fertilizer that, it was discovered that it has expired, but some people went into hide themselves somewhere, and they were changing the level, changing the date of manufacture, which means that it's an expired product, but it's telling you that it has expired already, but it's telling you that it's still valid, or it can still be used for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So already that is a matter that is already ongoing. It's not within the FCT, I've told you, but it's a case that I know we're already handling. In fact, it was as I've told you, that we do a lot of collaboration. So it is the Department of State Services that has even brought it to our knowledge. And I think we are working on that. So there are a lot of measures that are in place to ensure that the right product with the right date, with the right quality and the right quantity are being sold to the people.
Before you came, we were talking with Summayya about the, when a good expires, there is still the validity of 2 or 3 months before it expires, and people can still.
That's why you see mostly, there are like for food products, there is best before. Mostly you can see,
the
BB is best before date. So that one now, it is best before, maybe it is best before today. So after that period, at least you can use it for the next 2 or 3 months. But it is best within that best before date.
So after that, it's like good.
It's like a hand. So good. You try, but really when you see the date and it's like already gone 2-3 months, already you know that it's no longer, good for you to make it.
All right. So to our viewers, BB, best before means you can at least use 2 to 3 months.
Yes.
But then when you see expired you know that the date is past. All right. Yes. Talking about measures being put in place. Earlier you spoke about prosecuting particular people of what they do. So I want to come back to what you said about the consumers being ignorant. There are a lot of things they are not aware of. So when things like this happen, when someone is prosecuted, do you alert the consumers to know what company or what product not to consume, one? And secondly, what measures do you put in place for awareness for Nigerians to know how to measure standards, how to measure quality and quantities, and how to make complaints to some and other sister agencies?
Okay, as I've told you earlier, when the issue of complaints, I will start from that.
Okay.
I said our website is there, www.sun.gov.ng. Once you click into that, you see where you can access our offices and lay your complaint. But of recent, we also do a lot of sensitizations. We sensitize, a group of people and go public. We go public, we use media. Media covers it, and publicity is being made that at least on a certain product, these are what you should look out for. In fact, sometimes we issue out flyers. So if we have a program, sometimes like during World Standards Day, October 14th every year is celebrated World Standards Day. We do some road walks. We go around the flyers and and a lot of seminars and workshops are organized, at least in all effort to create awareness.
We have to go hard on you people. Yeah, let's go hard. And it is said that with each responsibility given to you, you know, that there's so much of expectation.
Yes.
All of these things you've made mention of, it boils down to people in the city. It's more down to people who have access to media. And you and I know in Nigeria there are lots of places that are not afford or do not have access to all of this. So how is Son planning or able to reach these people with that knowledge?
You know, as I've said, you see, right now, Son is in all state capitals of the nation, and we're doing our best. You know, initially, when I joined Son, we're having zonal offices. That zonal offices covers one state office, one office in maybe in Kaduna or in Kano, covers 6, 7, 8 offices. But as we are growing and evolving and seeing the need to go closer to the public, we are establishing offices. Offices have now been established in the state offices. As you are aware, you know, even though I've told you I'm only within FCT, there are certain decisions I cannot be able to. But I believe Son, you know, with this expansion we're making, we are trying to go down maybe even to the local governments, whereby people will get to know about us gradually. But I'm sure that that I was 20 years from my Son, that the way people are aware of Son before then, in fact, the awareness is much more because we are really opening up. I was telling you about this issue of calibration. Calibration is a responsibility of Son. It's managed when calibration is under metrology department. When you talk metrology is measurement. The office is in our National Metrology Institute is in Enugu. So whatever you have to do when you want to calibrate your equipment, maybe your weighing equipment, weigh scales and all that, in wherever you are, or your weigh bridges, you have to talk to our Enugu office for them to come and address the issue. But right now, the management has even decentralized that institute. Right now, there's a liaison office here in FCT. If you want calibration of your equipment within FCT, just reach out to our FCT office.
Is there a fee for that?
You know, actually, this is there is nothing that
it's free.
Now, you know, for you to operate, you must be able to charge certain fees, because if you don't do that, you'll not be able to get the best of service as required.
Well, I would like to ask this question: what is the process of reporting and addressing, you know, consumer complaints about the quality and quantity of a product? What do you do in terms of that?
No, as I've said, you know, this is
like if people want to report about so what are the processes?
If you're in Abuja, that's what I've said already. I have a consumer complaint committee within my own office, within the FCT. And if you discover that maybe what you buy has quality issue, when I'm talking of quality now, that I'm talking about the quality in the quality of the product and the quantity, you will write to us.
Okay. From any part of the country?
Yes, anywhere you are.
There are no branches in other states?
That's what I'm saying. All our offices are... Every state has its own jurisdiction. So if you buy a product in Abuja or in Kano or wherever, you go to, you write your report to that office in that area.
So what if I buy a product from Abuja and I take it to another place and then I find out that it's expired?
Well, if you really buy it in Abuja, if you go to our state office there, they will link up. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's one Son. We're in one Son. There was an issue of a product that was purchased is in Kaduna, but the source company is here. So I've asked them, let them link up with the company, the person that bought those things in Kaduna, and let me know, so that I'll link up with the company so that we can come together and see what is really the problem and what to be done.
So is it only by writing, or is there a customer care number?
Yes, there is. That's what I'm saying. When you go to our website, there are some of the issues come via mail. Once you write to the consumer complaint section, they call it consumer complaint and feedback. Once they get it, if it has to do with Ebonyi State, they will now refer to the state coordinator. When you say, okay, Ebonyi, this is this issue, you can do it a follow-up. If it is in Lagos, so you can do it online. When you go to our portal and you look for consumer complaint and feedback, you see it, and you can log in your complaint there, and we'll address it. But you can also approach us physically, you know, through our state office. Once you go to our website, all our office addresses and the contact numbers are there, so you can easily get across to us via that means.
All right, some of our callers made show concerns about agencies like the Sun and other agencies not really pursuing perhaps complaint when it comes to the people, they feel there's a bit of corruption. Defend yourself.
This is Nigeria for all of us, and whatever you do, particularly when it comes to issue of government, people have a lot of suspicion about it. But I will not want to see a reason why you bring a consumer complaint, instead of me addressing it, wanting to, then how, because sometimes we get your feedback. Okay. We even ask you to, if you come to my office, I can show you most of the complaints that we've addressed, and even the comment, there is a form there for you to sign and now say this is what, we are satisfied with or you're not satisfied with it. So the issue of corruption, most of the time you see people, once it is government, but for us in some, I'm talking now on behalf of my own organization, we address those issues strictly, and we try and make sure that both parties, in fact, I keep telling them that when you come for complaint, we don't only, because sometimes somebody is just maybe a retailer himself, he's not the producer. So we try to say the complainant and you the producer, because where's your source? Who is selling this product to you that is not complying? Let us know, let us do a root cause analysis and know the source of that your product, so that if it requires that we follow up to the factory or wherever your source, we'll do it. So it's when we're addressing such issues of complaint, we even look at the complainant, and the person that is making the complaint that is being reported that he has not done something well. So it's all about everybody. We are there for both parties.
Yeah. So, but what opportunity do you see for improving the quality and quantity of packaged goods in Nigeria, and what's the government doing in terms of this?
As I've told you, the issue of quantity. Sometimes I don't want to talk for the manufacturers, because that's not what within the purview of my office. But as I've said, most of it is about sometimes what people can afford. From our investigation, we discovered that people started, milk initially. When you take tea and milk in your own house, it's like it's for a certain group of people.
Yeah.
But when they now look at it, I say, at least Nigerians with this market, we should be able to provide it for almost each and everybody. That's why they started doing it in small package. At least if you have 100 naira, you can be able to buy Bonvita and Milo and whatever and have tea in your house. You don't have to go and buy a whole pack of it and the rest of it. So that's why some of these things are coming out in packs. But for the quantity that is declared on the package and it's not what you are getting, that to me, you understand, except maybe there are manufacturing error. That's why we suggest that maybe when you are doing your packaging now, you either automate
the package,
automate the packaging. Maybe if your weighing equipment or it's not working well and it's under dispensing, you should be able to now do it in such a way that maybe it's automated, that whenever the quantity, the weight is not there, they will reject it and now do the correction. That's a kind of way forward. But in terms of the sizes, except it is below what you have declared, as far as son is concerned, we cannot really talk of how you determine how the price of that product is going to be.
About.
But we are very concerned. Anybody who happens to now buy a product that I think is supposed to be 350 grams and is getting maybe 280, or then let us know. We will do a follow-up, and we will encourage the manufacturers to do right. That's why I'm saying that we have even brought our calibration facility closer, so that you can monitor, because calibration is expected that every equipment that is calibrated has an expiry date. So it is expected that you now do your calibration as at when due. That's why when we go for these markup inspections, we check all that. We even take the product, weigh it. It's part of what we've taken note of. If we don't just take it randomly. Maybe we go on the in-process line and take one or two, randomly and test them and see have they really come. Is the weight part of what we look at? This is part of the on-the-spot test we do. So if we discover that thing is failing, or we discover that your weight scale is not calibrated as it's supposed to be, we take note of that and give you a feedback and give you a timeline to quickly address it. Because if we fail to do that, you can even lose your certification. So all these things are there in place within the mandate of SON. These are some of the things we are doing. Only that Nigeria, a country of 200,
over 200
million people. SON, I think we are about 2,000 or thereabout. You understand? So we really, until you come closer to us, I know it's not supposed to be like that.
Is there anything you're doing in terms of hoarding of products that maybe that does not meet up the kg or the gram that they are putting out there?
Hoarding?
Yes, like the lesser, maybe the quantity is less, but they are paying higher for the quantity of a product.
No, as I've said, when it comes to the issue of price, it's not something that's on the time. It's because how you put in your product and get your price and put your markup, we don't know. But what we want try to do is to ensure that people are getting quality product in the market. Because the issue of pricing is not within the purview of someone for us to do. But once you are found wanting that your product is not compliant to the requirement of the standard, there are sanctions.
All right, so quickly, you started talking about how the population is a huge challenge for Sun. Are there other challenges for Sun that is blocking the ensuring of quality and quantity in products?
No, Nigerians, as I've said, we actually need to maybe create awareness among ourselves. We are always naira wise, pound foolish. I don't mind buying this product 10 times compared to me maybe a certain small price compared to buying a quality product that will last me maybe a very longer time. And that is when you are trying to establish a business, even the culture of the people is what you look at.
Determines.
You understand? So when people realize that it is what is cheap that they always want to buy. In fact, that's why they even deceive us here. That if you want to get it, there are times you can say this one is 20 naira, but I have another one that is for 15 naira. Whether the quality is even below what you are expecting, your mind will be the one that 15 naira is of high quality. You understand? But for the generality of the public, most of us want to buy sometimes that is below the required quality, or in as much as what I can afford, I buy. I don't care. So actually, Nigerians too have to really try to embrace the issue of quality, so that at least when you are buying anything, you make sure that you look out for the quality requirements on it and make sure that that's what you buy. That's what every other person was keen. But by the time people realize, because we interact with importers, manufacturers a lot. Some of them will tell you that the person that is selling quality product, you find out that if you display quality product on your shelf, high quality, and you say this is very expensive, it can take you months before you do. But those ones that are doing the sharp practices, you find out that they don't the product move because
well, at the end of the day, we hope all hands would be on deck in order to avert this, because health is important to all of this and consumer rights. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ishaku, Mohammed, Gamagira, and dissecting the situation.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, that was a huge conversation on quality and quantity of product with Ishaku Mohammed Gamagira. He is the Assistant Director of State Coordinator of Standards Organization of Nigeria, the Sun. Thank you so much for joining us through the insightful conversation, 2 hours of Daybreak Extra. Appreciate you. I am Summayya Abubakar. Do have a lovely day.
And we hope that we're able to educate you on this and you watch out for what you buy out there. I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. Stay safe.